Welcome to the Real-Time Storytime by Robert R. Ricks. We will get this thing started pretty soon. What I need for you guys right now is just to hold tight. We need to allow people to show up because this show is nothing without the viewers. You see, I require keywords or phrases that you will give me, and I will craft a story based off these keywords. I have about 2.5 minutes to create the story. And then after I create the story, I have to see if I got all of the keywords in, at least 10 of them. We try to have at least 10 to 14 keywords, and I attempt to get all of them in, but if I can get at least 10, it's a good day. Now, I know you guys are going to have some really crazy ones. Now, I do need to warn any new viewers. The existing crew that comes here on a regular basis are filthy, nasty motherfuckers with foul language. If the language is going to be a problem, you might want to check out now, because these stories, 9 times out of 10, are extremely vulgar, sometimes violent, oftentimes very weird, and sometimes funny. Alright, we'll get this thing started pretty soon. Hang tight.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Robert R. Ricks. It be October 20th, 2019. This is the Real-Time Storytime featuring myself, Robert R. Ricks. We're going to be doing a little Halloween special for the evening. We're going to be doing something a little special. The viewers that are here tonight are probably going to die or have something horrible happen to them. Not quite sure yet. We shall see what happens. The keywords will help me decide the fate of my viewers. And then we will see just what happens tonight. So, in all seriousness, this is the Real-Time Storytime. I am your host, Robert R. Ricks, with an extremely pounding, monstrous fucking headache. So that, I think, is going to serve us well for this evening. Since this is a Halloween special, kind of a special thank you fan appreciation episode, the folks that are here tonight provided me some keywords and phrases to which I have a couple of minutes to put a story together. After I have that time, I then will craft a story for your listening or viewing pleasure. Some of you folks are podcast. When you come in on a podcast, you don't get to see this. This is basically a live YouTube stream that happens every Sunday at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. I should say. Make sure I said that right. My brain's not working. And what ends up happening is after the fact, a podcast is made, and so you guys will come and see the podcast after the fact. I want to point out some of the earlier episodes. We had one in particular called Harry Situation Origin. The print books are out. After tonight, there will also be ebooks. Traditional ebooks that you can go grab off of Amazon. Those will be up live inside of that environment, so you folks that want to read stuff on your e-readers, you'll be able to. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to flash a message on the screen that the live folks can see, and turn us all to word dogs, word poodle, word pit bull, word Doberman, etc. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where it goes, Brian. I haven't given any thought to what the fuck we're going to do just yet. Go ahead and hit that.
Your words now.
So what's going to happen is, folks that are sitting here right now watching are going to start sending me these words. I'm going to start jotting them down inside of this here book. And then after I have them written down inside the book, I will then have another set of music that's going to play for about 2 minutes while I try to figure out what the fuck we're going to do. Where corgi? Where corgi? Where corgi? See, I can't even say the shit right, so I think the likelihood of that's going to be a little bit on the remote side. It may not necessarily be werewolf type shit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Could be some transformations. I'm not sure. So if you guys want to start throwing some words in, that will be good. Garen, is that your word? Are you going to do where corgi? I really hope not. Oh, Carolina Reaper Suppository. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Carolina Reaper Suppository. Fucking Brian. Suppository. WereRottweiler. WereRottweiler. Purple People Eater. That's cool. Gay is the way. Oh my fuck. Gay is the way. Silver Broom. That's interesting. Silver. Okay. WerePanda. WerePanda. Hey Garen, ask Paula if she's got a word. Even if unless she's asleep. If she's sleeping, don't bug her. But if she's like sitting there awake, because I still need about 4 more words here. So if you guys want to throw that out. Rob is a WerePanda. Rawr. I'm picturing that shit from World of Warcraft. That's actually pretty fucking funny. A WerePanda. It's a WerePanda. What the fuck is a WerePanda? Whatever it wants to wear, man. It's a fucking panda. So yeah, so I'm waiting for the rest of these words. I will also call out. So Magic Really Sucks was one of my main books that I put out beforehand. So there's actually the first book came out February. Second book had came out in July. And then the third and final book is out right fucking now. And there's ebooks for all of those. Oh my god, don't touch me, priest. Don't touch me, priest. That could be taken in a lot of different ways. Garen, is that like a WereRaindeer? Or is that let's see. Yeah, he meant to say WereRaindeer. Okay. So we just got some where shit going on here. WereRaindeer. Huh. You know, when you guys throw weird shit at me like this, it makes it little harder to do a cohesive, interesting story, but it always ends up being kind of funny. Let's see. WereTiger. Well, I guess it's just a where. Where, oh, where can we go? Where, Tiger? Alright, so I just need one more. Did Backwoods drop a word before he bounced out? Butt plug and divorce. Okay, butt plug, he did. Alright, butt plug. Alright, so we're good. We got butt plug and divorce. I was wondering why he bounced out so quick. Okay. Alright, so we're good. Alright, so we've got Carolina Reaper Suppository. Jesus Christ. Okay, a WereRottweiler, Purple People Eater, Gay is the Way, Silver Broom, WerePanda, Don't Touch Me Priest, WereRaindeer, WereTiger, Butt Plug, and Divorce. Let's see. And then, actually, we have a Fuck China, I mean, Love China. Fuck China. Fuck China. I mean, Love China. I mean, Love China. Alright, so now that I got the words, now I need to get some music to figure out what I'm going to do with these words. So we'll go ahead and looks like Vampire Zombie was also thrown in last second, so that'll be it. Vampire Zombie. That's fucking funny. These flutes kicking in, I think, are gonna play into the story pretty well. No, Garen, I didn't get a chance to. Oh, Jay Watterson. Okay. I can call you Jay. All right. Dookie. All right, so tonight's keywords are Carolina Reaper Suppository, WereRottweiler, Purple People Eater, Gay is the Way, Silver Broom, WerePanda, Don't Touch Me Priest, WereRaindeer, WereTiger, Butt Plug, Divorce, Fuck China, I mean Love China, and Vampire Zombie. Fuck, guys. I did mention I had a pounding fucking headache, right? I got no notes. I just have names. That's it. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. I really don't. But fuck, I have to do it, right? Holy shit, fuck. All right. off the headset. Actually, that makes it a little better on my head. Ugh. Okie dokies. Fucking hell. You fucking wankers. Alright. Shit. Might as well tie the shit in with the fucking story, right? Alright. Here we go. My head felt like I had a 50-pound miniature midget running around the inside of it, slamming a metal mallet against the inside of my skull, trying to pop my eyeballs out of my fucking skull. I was very, very tired. I was grumpy. I hadn't slept in a better part of 2 days. And to say that delirium was somewhat creeping into my mindset would be somewhat of an understatement. But, as they said, the show must go on. I was preparing for one of my shows, and I heard the doorbell ring. I went into it, opened it, was amazed and surprised that nobody was there. I shrugged, realizing that it was close to Halloween, thought perhaps maybe the neighborhood kids were playing the normal pranks of doorbell ditch. Shrugged, closed the door, went back in. Curious though, I went to my computer, brought up my Ring console, and stared. There was a small man who had rang the doorbell, and then there was a brilliant flash and he just had vanished. Odd. Beyond odd. Fucking crazy, actually. I decided to go back outside and look again closer. As I turned to look at the doorbell, I saw there was a burn mark right above the device. It looked almost like an Asian character, but it didn't look like a character I recognized. It had fluid marks to it, and yet it didn't look Japanese, and it didn't look Chinese. Perhaps Vietnamese, I thought. Or maybe Cambodian. I reached up, traced it with my fingers. Not sure why I did, but it seemed like a natural thing to do. In hindsight, perhaps it was dumb. But I can always blame the headache and the lack of sleep for lack of judgment. As my finger had finished tracing the final character, there was another brilliant flash. Suddenly, I was standing in a grassy field. A very warm wind caressed my cheek and my hair fluttered in the wind. There was an unfamiliar smell in the air. Not unpleasant, but also a little on the funky side. I looked around and saw several huts. Wow, what the fuck? I looked up and noticed the sun was directly over me. Shit. It was night. I might not have mentioned before, but it was night when I had gone outside. And now here we were, broad fucking daylight. This was going to be interesting, I thought to myself. Abruptly, there were several more flashes. And suddenly, people were standing around me. Some I knew, some I didn't know. Okay, what the fuck is this? There are a few people there that came up and smiled at me, and I nodded as I recognized them. I saw Garen, Brian, Lyra, Stalking, Backwoods, Jay, and I saw Jackalope and Vixen. There were dozens of other people, though, of whom I didn't know. Okay, what is going on? Brian had walked towards me, big smile on his face. He looked at me. I looked at him. What do you think's going on? He said. I shook my head. Nothing good. I'm pretty sure this is bad. I'm pretty sure this is very bad. Garen stepped forward and said, Why would you say that? I think this is kind of interesting. I'm like, I don't think this is going to end well. Yak smiled, laughed at me. Bro, let's just try to be positive and see what happens. I shrugged. Okay. Jay stood next to me. Actually, I'm in agreement with Rob. I think this is going to be bad. I think this is going to be a horrible, horrible thing. I'm like, see? I'm not the only one. Lyra walked around, eyeing things, taking everything in, analyzing. Vixen the same. Looking, thinking. Well, there's those huts over there, I said, pointing at billowing little bits of smoke that rose in the air, realizing that's where the smell was coming from. I think it's some food over there, maybe. Brian laughed at me. Thinking with your stomach, eh? Fuck off, dude. I wasn't thinking with my stomach. I was just commenting that I think that's where the smell is coming from. He smiled. I'm just fucking with you, dude. I'm like, I know. So, we continued over towards the hut. As we did, the other group followed us. There were small groups. Some of them, it was obvious, knew each other, and some of them, there was a smaller group that it was obvious they knew nobody. They were singular, not coupled up, not grouped up. We were actually one of the larger groups. As we walked towards the hut, I said, there was like a little small Asian dude. He was outside my house, rang the doorbell. I went out and saw him, and that's how I ended up here. Each of us recounted a similar tale. Some of us had seen the small man, and some had not. But the one thing we all did have in common was the mysterious burned glyph that, inexplicably, we had all traced and ended up in a grassy hill. We got to the huts, and there was the small man. He smiled at us, nodded, and then bowed. I kind of waited. Some of us returned it, bowed. I did not. Not out of being rude or anything else, but because I have a shitty back, and by doing so, I knew I'd run a risk of possibly blowing my back, and something told me I needed to be at optimum performance. He looked at me, and he smiled. Hello. You are the one known as the Angry Jackalope. I sighed. Yeah, I've gone by that moniker in the past, kind of, straying away from that path, trying to be more of a writer, No, you are the Jackalope. Or perhaps something else. To which I looked at him and said, okay, whatever. He motioned towards the chest. Looked to be very stout, strong, iron bands. It looked as if somebody had tried to Novella to pry open this chest many times. There are also old brown bloodstains on the chest. I raised an eyebrow. Okay, is that loot? He smiled at me. That is whatever you want it to be. I said, oh, cool, so that's going to be a ticket to get back home, right? If that's what you wish. Yeah, I'd like to go back fucking home. This is cool and everything, but, I don't know where the fuck I'm at. Well, you are in China. Yeah, well, fuck China. I mean, I love China, but I love Utah a lot better, so I'd rather be back home. I did that, not to be rude, but to gauge his reaction. I like to use humor, but I also like to know what I'm dealing with. So I figured if I insulted China, it would tell me something. His lack of reaction told me volumes. Interesting. Well, look, this is fun and everything, and I'm sure everybody else here is extremely intrigued by all of this, but my wife's going to be home pretty soon, and if I'm not home and I'm sitting over in China, I'm liable to get a divorce. And I'm not trying to get a divorce. In fact, I don't want to be divorced. So, again, show me the way home. I'm fucking out of here. He shook his head. I am afraid it is not that easy. Each of you must open the chest. And if we decline, I said, again, trying to lighten the mood, then none of you will ever see your homes again. I knew you were going to say that. You know, this reminds me of old Dungeons and Dragons shit, and the shit never ends well. I said that as I gazed at the rest of us to emphasize my initial gut instinct of the situation. Lyra stepped forward first. Fine, I'll open it. I looked at her, surprised by the boldness. Shit. No, Lyra, wait, hold up. We don't know what the fuck's gonna happen there. Yeah, well, fuck it. Everybody else is just sitting around. Let's just do this already. I shrugged. Fuck it. Fine. I said, but, and I stepped in front of Lyra, who smiled at me. She shook her head. You don't need to do that. I got this. I stepped back. Fine. She opened the chest. And inside the chest was a silver broom. And I thought about it. And I had a couple of very inappropriate jokes in regard to a silver broom. None of which I felt like sharing or saying because it really wasn't funny. And it really wasn't appropriate. She glanced at the broom and she looked at each of us and then looked at the small man. Okay, I opened the chest. I see something here. What do I do with it? What do you think you do with it? She picked it up, held it, looked at it, looked around, and right outside of huts were nothing but dirt and grass, inappropriate for any kind of a cleaning instrument like a silver broom. Even the bristles themselves were silver in color, and yet, as she touched them, they bristled as they should. So how's it feel? She goes, it's the heaviest damn broom I've ever held. He smiled. Your bravery does you good service. Thank you. And at that, Lyra vanished. What the fuck? Said I, surprised by the abrupt departure. If anything fucking happened to her, she is home with her reward. Okay. All right. Cool. Brian said, fucking pussy, I'm up. He stepped towards the chest, which slammed shut. Boom. We all kind of were startled by the abruptness of the boom. There was something acoustical about it that was surprising. The volume, the bass, the echo. The echo from within the chest itself. Okay. Brian stepped forward. Opened it. There was no silver broom. This time, there was a small ring. Brian picked it up, placed it on his finger with no hesitation, looked up at the sky expecting to vanish, and nothing happened. Okay. The small man chuckled. It seems you are not to go home. You not yet, anyway. Brian said, fine. Whatever. Again, the chest closed. Garen stepped forward. Took a big breath. Looked at me. He said, Paula's waiting for me. I said, I know. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what fucking happens. He opened the chest. Inside was a necklace. Garen had a few other necklaces on. He also had one of the Angry Jackalope dog tags. I noted it, smiled. He put the necklace on. It jingled with the rest of them. Looked up at the sky. Nothing happened. I started to feel a heavy weight on my shoulders. Fuck, said I, frustrated, feeling the anxiousness growing within me. Well, this fucking sucks. Stalking stepped forward next. Opened it. And inside, he saw what looked, at casual observation anyway, to be a sleek purple butt plug. To which I chuckled. Bro, don't put that on. He flipped me off. Didn't even look back. He held it. He said, it's not a butt plug. I said, well, what is it? He goes, I don't know, but it's not a butt plug. To which Brian jumped in and said, you got a lot of experience with butt plugs? He looked back and said, fuck off, dude. No. But I know a butt plug when I see a butt plug. And butt plugs don't have this. He flipped it over, showing us the bottom, and it looked almost like a seal. It had a very similar character on it to the ones that we had used in the past to get here. I looked at it. Wow. That's kind of cool, I think. Yeah, I think it's a butt plug. I think it's pretty gay, dude. At that point, Jay chuckled. Yo, man, stop being a fucking ass. Sometimes gay is the way, man. I shrugged. Whatever, dude. Alright, so it's not a butt plug. Seems to be some kind of a seal. Step back. Let's see what else happens. Stalking stepped back. Backwoods was next. He opened it. And inside was a chain. A big, long, golden chain. He held it, smiled, said, dude, this thing is heavy as shit. And then suddenly he vanished. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? We all kind of looked at each other. What, is there fucking rhyme and reason to this shit? Like, backwoods? Gotta pass? Backwoods? Mr. Motherfucking always throwing crazy shit my way gets a fucking pass? The small man smiled. Everything makes sense in due time. Okay. Alright. If you fucking say so. Then, Jay stepped forward. He opened the chest. Pulled out a dagger. Ornate. Beautiful. I said, whoa. Whoa. That's a fucking nice ass blade, man. He looked at it. Yeah. It's really fucking heavy. And look, we all kind of crowded around him, all of us knife geeks, each secretly wishing that we had pulled it. I was up. I was anxious. I was scared. I was torn. Part of me hoped whatever was in the chest would fucking whisk me home to the safety of my family. But I was worried about my friends that were also sitting there. What would happen to them? So there was another part of me that was also torn, hoping I wouldn't get pulled home. At least not yet. I wanted to see what was going on here. So I stepped forward and I opened it. Inside was appropriate, I suppose, a book. But this book was bound in a fleshy substance. I flipped it over quickly to see if there was a face on one side. Thankfully, there was not. I breathed a sigh of relief. Fuck me. And I waited. Nothing happened. Okay, I guess I'm here as well. Step back. Our group stepped further back, but still close enough to hear the small man, and we let the other groups go and enter the contest of the chest. Each one opening, some vanishing, some not, and we waited. After a while, we realized about roughly half of the people had vanished, but the rest of us remained. Okay, Mr. Tiny Fortune Cookie, what's next? I asked, my impatience growing. Each of you that has remained has an item. Each of these items are special in that they work within you to bring things out that you will need to solve the trials. I said, fuck! I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! Fuck! 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 The group looked at me. I was at my wit's end. The headache that I had been dealing with earlier, before all of this happened, had grown exponentially. I turned to Brian at one point and said, dude, do I got blood coming out of my eyes? He shook his head. Not yet. Fuck. Okay. Well, let's see. What are we going to do? What are these trials? Let me guess. We have to go slay a fucking dragon. He shook his head. No. Nothing like that. He pointed to a hut. Each of you has to go inside the hut. Okay, and that's it. Okay. So each of us has to go into the hut. Yes. What's in the hut? He said nothing. I looked at everybody, frustration still growing. Let me repeat myself again. Short shit. What's in the hut? Again, met with silence. Fuck. A man walked up. Tall. Wiry. My son, do not fear, for the Heavenly Father shall guide us. I looked at him. You a priest? Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, so why don't you go hang out with your group? Me and my group here, we're working through it. You guys can just go hang over there. He reached out to put a comforting hand on my shoulder. I was not in a fucking mood. I blurted out, don't touch me, priest. I don't have time for this. I don't need a pep talk. I don't need your comfort. Please back up. There was a tone, a dangerous tone in my voice. I noted it as well. There was a slight guttural growl to it. What the fuck was that? I looked at Brian. Brian raised an eyebrow as he stared at me. He tilted his head slightly. Yo, Rob. Yeah, you might want to be the first to go check out the hut.
Why is that? What the hell?
I looked at my hands. My hands were still like my hands, but there was a deep brownish fur that had covered the backside, and now claws had extended from the fingertips.
Oh, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Am I turning into a fucking werewolf?
Brian shook his head. Nah, not quite. Not quite. Well,
what is it?
Yak chuckled. You kind of look like a ugly Rottweiler. A what? Ugly Rottweiler.
Oh, fucking shit.
Brian snapped his fingers. Aha! I know what it is. I know what you are.
What am I?
You're not a werewolf, bro. You're a fucking WereRottweiler. I shrugged.
Fucking great.
I looked at each of them really quick. Nobody else had started to generate fur on their body. I stepped back, turned, pulled my pants and looked down, shook my head.
Fuck.
What?
Fur's everywhere.
They all chuckled at that. I didn't think the shit was funny. There was so much fur. Well, I'll just leave it to your imagination. But needless to say, it wasn't a pretty picture. I looked at the small man.
Fine. I'll go in your fucking hut.
I walked into the hut. And as I did, everything blacked out for me. A few minutes later, I was back outside the hut. I was still a walking, talking Rottweiler.
What happened?
Brian shrugged. You walked in.
there was a flash, and you're right back out here with us. I looked at the priest. I looked at the small man. Well, you said go into the hut. Yes, I said go into the hut. You did go into the hut. There are more people. Yak went into the hut. Flash. Each of the rest into the hut. Flash, 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 flash. After about 25 minutes of all of us going into the hut, we all came back out. Appeared. Bewildered. We had all lost some time. Fine. Seems everybody here has gone into the hut. What now? Why am I a dog? You're not a dog, sir. Well, what do you call this? I showed him. A manifestation of your inner animal. I'm a dog. I suppose it could be worse. I mean, I could have been a fucking WereRaindeer or something else like that. He smiled. Brian kept looking at his hands. What? They itch. Yeah, it does itch. Fucking feels shitty. Yeah. Feels weird, though. I looked at him. That's when I saw little bits of white. Little bit. Small. What the fuck? Hey, Brian, something's happening to you. I looked around. It was not just him. Everybody started to shift in different ways. Some of the other groups had different looks. I noted our group all were shifting into some were kind of like tigers, some kind of like other dogs and wolves. But for the most part, we were pretty mellow. Some of the other groups, they became hideous. Specifically the priest. The priest looked like a slimy snake. Okay. This is interesting. So as I looked, Brian continued his transformation, Yak his. Vixen also had transformed. When we were all done, it was a very interesting motley crew that we had become, covered with dense fur. I looked at... Shit, I can't remember if Garen left or didn't leave. No, I think Garen's still there. Fuck it, Garen, you're there. I can't remember. If this is a continuity thing, fuck it. You got yanked back. Garen had the appearance of a muscular panda. To which Brian gleefully yelled out, "A WerePanda! That's fucking awesome! What am I? I looked at him. We all kind of studied him. Maybe a lynx? Yak said, no, ears are wrong. Nope, that's not a fucking lynx. It's not a fucking lion. Some kind of a cat. Something. It's a big cat, some kind. Am I a tiger? We kind of shrugged. A white one? Yeah, I suppose a white tiger. Yeah, I guess you're like a white WereTiger. He was ecstatic. The smile on his face said it all. He could have been killed right at that moment, and he would have been happy because he had become a WereTiger, which, for whatever reason, made him smile. So, there we were, all of us. Combat ready. Claws bared. Hearts beating rapidly. Because I could hear them. I could hear everybody's heart beating. I could smell everybody. Let me tell you. You need to pet your dog, hug your dog, and give them fucking credit. Because what they hear, what they smell, A little bit of an overload. A little bit of an overload. We all looked at the small man. Okay, what happens now? I said, grumpy. Now, you fight for survival. We looked at everybody. What do you mean? We have to fight each other? He smiled, a wicked, evil smile. No, we do not force you to fight amongst yourselves. We insist you fight for survival. We let friends come along because friends help each other fight more furiously. Realization was starting to dawn on me. I fucking told you guys. I fucking told you. It was at that moment that the sky darkened. There was a crack of thunder in the distance. The wind picked up. The grass swayed this way and that violently. Oh shit, I said, softly, which was the only thing I had said recently that sounded remotely like my own voice. Brian growled, "Fuck it, I'm down, motherfucker." In fact, most of the crew seemed thrilled by the concept of combat. I, on the other hand, was very fearful. I had a distinct feeling we were about to be fucked. You know, not the glorious fun fucks. I thought back to the butt plug. Let me see the butt plug. Flip it around real quick. He did. He showed it to me. The glyph on the bottom of it was glowing brightly. Oh shit. I opened up the book. I fumbled with it, but I was still able to open it. I looked inside. There were glyphs inside of it, also glowing. I tried, really quickly, to trace them. Nothing happened. Fuck. The sky darkened to the point where it was almost like nighttime. Suddenly there was a sound. A low, whining sound. A hiss. Very subtle at first. I saw the priest, who was further away from us than the rest. He seemed to have walked away from the main groups, distraught at his transformation. He screamed out in agony. I saw angry hands ripping at him. The thing standing in front of me, ripping the priest apart, with smaller variants of it, looked like a decayed man. Flesh falling off a bone, some bone so white and bleached that it had been obvious the body had been laying out, exposed to the elements. It defied all reason that it was able to move. I stared at what could have been eye sockets, but there was a glow within them. A faint, hellish red glow. It smiled. Haggard flesh. Fangs bared. Fuck me. Brian said, "What is that?" If I had to guess, bro, that shit kinda looks like a fucking vampire zombie of some sort. See those fangs? Two of them had bitten into the priest and had began slurping away at it, hungrily. As those did, flesh began to rematerialize on their body. Yep. Fucking vampire zombies. Well, let's hope they're fucking slow and stupid like zombies, Yak said. The area around us, more sounds. All around us. Alright guys, back to back. Don't let anything catch us slipping. Back to back. We made a rough octagon shape. Each of our shoulders against the others. Crouched, waiting. Okay guys, make sure everybody is looking out for each other. Keep an eye. One fall, you guys jump and help if you can. I barked out. Literally barked out. I was waiting, fearful of the number that could be coming for us. I waited. Thankfully, It seemed we were evenly matched. The number of these things seemed proportionate to the numbers of us that were remaining. We were on the closer side, closer to the small man. I kept looking at him. I kept watching him. He smiled. He was just content to watch. Something about him, I thought. Perhaps he was key to this. Perhaps if we took him out, they would vanish. He looked at me abruptly, as if he had sensed what I was thinking. He shook his head, winked at me, and then he vanished. Fuck. So much for that idea. Next time, less thinking, more doing. The group looked at me. What? Nothing. Pay attention. They came in at that time. Quick. Faster than I had hoped. They're not like fucking normal zombies, Yak yelled out. Yeah, I get that. Fucking make 'em pay. We fought. We fought hard. We tore at them. Arms, legs, ripped off jaws, tore heads off, and the damnedest thing, they just kept coming. No matter what we did, they kept coming. Over and over and over again. I felt a searing pain on my calf, looked down, and one of the heads that somebody had torn off somehow had bounced and rolled and landed up against my calf, and the damn thing had bit me. I kicked it like a ball. It rolled away. I was angry. Blood gushed. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. We continued to fight. It was at that point there was a faint glow on one of them. It came closer. I noted this one did not have the distinctive red glow that the others had. This one had a pronounced regal purple glow to it, to which, despite all reason, I started to chuckle. Yak looked at me, perplexed. Dude, what the fuck is so funny? Look, I think that's the leader. He looked at me. He looked at that. He shrugged. What's so fucking funny? Dude, I can't help but think, as it's approaching and it's eating some of them, that it's a purple people eater, and I started to chuckle. He shook his head. You're a fucking funny guy, Rob. You're a fucking funny guy. Yeah, I know. Let's make sure we keep a good space between us. It came closer. And as it did, fear crept within me. Because it was not just killing some of the other groups. It had also grabbed some of the other vampires and began to eat the ones that were more reconstituted. The ones that had been successful in killing the other groups that had regenerated, it was eating them as well. It didn't care which one it was eating. I thought about it for a second. The butt plug! Give me the butt plug! What are you gonna do with it? Just fucking give it to me. I have an idea. Stalking threw it at me. I caught it. Back my play, guys. Back my play. Suddenly we were charging towards it like a Major League football team. Tearing down towards it. Anything that got in our way, we backhanded, knocked out of our path. We got up close to it. I need you guys to distract it. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to fucking see what this seal on this thing, if maybe there's a way to stop this big sumbitch. They smiled. Fuck, it can't hurt, right? Nope. So there it was. There we were against a purple people eater. It was fast, and it was a lot bigger than I thought it was. So, it swung. I dove underneath. I tried to slam the seal on his forehead, thinking perhaps maybe that would do something. Nothing happened. I noted the shape of it. I also noted the purple people eater was naked. Well endowed. Naked. I shrugged. Okay, guys, I don't ever want to hear about this shit ever again. I think perhaps this thing is some kind of a butt plug. To which everybody, and I mean everybody, not just our group, but other groups, gave me the most weird look I had ever seen in my entire life. Just keep it off me. Now you can make your Star Wars jokes, you could do whatever you want, but here I was, feeling a lot like Luke Skywalker, going in to the Death Star to try to hit that magical spot with the butt plug. Possibly butt plug. I had hoped butt plug. I dove, rolled underneath, crammed it straight up its ass, hoping it would give some kind of reaction that I had in my mind played out would be similar to having a Carolina Reaper suppository. Something very unpleasant for it. Thankfully, it did react, although not quite the reaction I had hoped for. It came up, it stuck, the seal flashed, and then the small one, the small man, stood before us, and I stared at him. He stared at me. He did not die. He looked very uncomfortable, and he looked very, and I do mean very, angry. "Why would you do that?" he said. I looked at everybody. Even the vampires, the things we had been fighting, they all stopped, all staring at me. I shrugged. It seemed like a good idea. Impossible. It is impossible to deal with, you stupid Americans. You can't even deal with this appropriately. And he pointed to all the other vampires around, to which they all shook their heads. Embarrassment started to take its toll on me. Sorry? He reached back, tried to pull at it. Couldn't get it out. It was stuck. You must pull this out. No, I'm not. You need to send us fucking home. Impossible. The trials are not done yet. It looks like it's done to me, unless you don't want to shit ever. Thought about it. Could see the angers, the flames of angers in his eye. I cannot believe you have insulted and desecrated my temple in this way. I smirked at him. As my homie said earlier, gay's the way, right? So, unless you want your homies to think you're gay with that mystical butt plug hanging out of your ass for I don't know however long you're going to fucking live, I suggest we work a deal. Get us back home, and, I'll pull that fucking thing out, and we'll call it a day. He considered. He motioned. The vampires backed away. The clouds broke. Sunlight beamed down on us. He looked at me. Perhaps we can make a deal. Yes. In return of you pulling this free, I shall send you and your friends home. Okay. All right. I will pull it out, and you will send us home. I pointed to the entire group, to which he shook his head. No. You and your friends, to which he looked at my group. All right, deal. He turned. I had Yak, and I had Garen stalking, and Brian hold him as I pulled with everything I had. You better fucking back up your word, old man. You have my word. Get it out. And as I pulled it free, there was a flash, and I heard laughter. It is done. Brilliant flash. I found myself laying on the ground outside of my house. I looked at my hands really quickly. They were back to normal. I rushed into the house really quickly. No time had passed. It was as if everything had happened instantaneously. I went to my computer, went on Facebook, started to ping each of my friends. I made sure everybody was fine. To my amazement, Lyra responded, showed me a picture of her in a broom with a big smile on her face. This is a solid silver. Do you know what this motherfucker is worth? I'm like, out fucking standing. The big gold chain, also worth tons of money. I met and talked with each one of my friends. Got to Brian, who moped, looked a little upset. What's wrong, bro? I wanted to stay a tiger. You're always a tiger, bro. This guy says what's inside of us. He nodded. I suppose. As I disconnected with each one, I sat in my office, I took a sigh, and I sniffed. What the fuck is that smell? I went into the kitchen, and my wife had opened the dog's dog food can, and it smelled amazing to me. I looked at her. I got the dog. I'll feed the dog. It's okay. I got her. My dog Yuki stared at me, tilted her head, sniffed. I leaned forward and sniffed at her. She looked at me, backed up. I opened the can of dog food, reached in, took a bite, and it was delicious. And as I looked at my hands, I could see the faint claws extending slightly. Off in the distance I heard laughter and realized I had asked for us to come home, but I had not asked for us to be returned normally. I knew off in the distance Brian was having a night of his life. Okay. Boom. Done. That's our Halloween story for this evening. Carolina Reaper, Suppository was in there. WereRottweiler's in there. Purple People Eater was in there. Gay is the Way was in there. Silver Broom was in there. WerePanda was in there. Don't Touch Me Priest was in there. WereRaindeer was in there. WereTiger was in there. Buttplug was in there. Divorce was in there. Fuck China. I Love China was in there. And Vampire Zombie was in there. There you go, fuckers. Throwing these fucking damn near impossible shit at me to fucking figure out. Oh shit, right? Money. Where's my money, fool? Exactamundo. So, anyway, pulled it out of my ass. There's probably a few continuity pieces there that didn't quite make fucking sense, but you know what? When you got a pounding fucking headache and it's just fucking retarded, there's not much I could do, guys. So, anyway, yay! Done deal. All right, so that's it. That's gonna end this Halloween special. It's probably gonna just be called Purple People Eater, just because. Fuck, that's the only thing I can think of. So anyway, that's it. Just a reminder: come Tuesday, I'm having a big procedure done on my mouth. That's probably gonna suck pretty bad. But then, see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5 days. I should be somewhat healed up by then. So I should still be able to do our final Halloween story time and go from there. So that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed yourselves with that one. It was definitely a weird one, but that's kind of how it is. I had thought I was going to do some kind of a... Coming into this, I thought maybe I was going to do some kind of an alien invasion type thing or something like that. And with the words you guys threw at me, I was like, there is absolutely no fucking way in hell I'm going to be able to turn this into a fucking alien story. So that's it, guys. That's going to be it for now. We will do this again next week. And I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Hope you guys had a great time. And Be safe. If you like it. Please share this shit far and wide. And like I said, Harry's Situation, there will be ebooks out for that soon. I'm going to be putting that up tonight. So that means there's a free audiobook for that. There is already a free ebook, a PDF anyway, if you want it. But if you want something that's on like a Kindle or something else, that's going to be up probably tonight. I've been putting up some of these other ones, like Magic Really Sucks 2 and 3. Those are up now on Amazon. And that's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I will see you motherfuckers next time. Well, we'll see, Brian. We'll see how the fucking keywords are. You know what I mean? We could try to do an alien theme, but depending on what you guys do, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, guys. I'll see you motherfuckers next time.